name's Jose Trujillo. I'm a fine art painter, and I'm coming to you here from my art studio to talk to you about an art self-help advice that has helped me, and I'm sharing them with you, as I mentioned in other videos, in hopes that they help you as well, okay? This one, and as you know, I mainly speak for creative types, right? Artists, musicians, sculptors, photographers, and you know, the creative type, okay? But the advice, I believe, is for everyone. You don't have to be an artist. Be careful with feedback, okay? I mentioned in another video that you don't want to get your value from others. Well, feedback is very similar, and if that is, it's pretty much a continuation of that. Many of us tend to believe that we need this feedback, you know, we need this constant feedback. There's this idea out there that, oh, you have to put in your 10,000 hours. And then I heard someone else say, yeah, your 10,000 hours with feedback. Otherwise, you're not really, you know, of course, you know, you want to have the right skill level, whatever that is, you know, whether you are an abstract painter or, you know, portrait photographer or whatever. You want to have the right skill level. You want to be able to have a good skill set, right? But then lines get blurry between what's good and what's better. And it happens to be because people are judging things based on their personal knowledge. So when you go out asking, let's say you're a wonderful abstract painter, right? You create this just beautiful stuff, right? You have this edge, this approach that you've been practicing since you were like 5 years old, looking at the world in your own eyes, right? And you go talk to someone and you have this thing that not many people understand, right? Or not the average Joe understands. And you show it to someone who paints very delicate, who's brush by brush, you know, brush stroke by brush stroke, and creates this beautiful, you know, portraits of cats or dogs or whatever, you know, and or you know, whatever. And then you ask for feedback. They might be able to give you some feedback, but for the most part, they're gonna judge through their lens. You know, their lens is, oh, it's gotta be clean. You can't really see the brushwork. You know, I feather it in, all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with any of it. It's just different. You know, we have to be able to not look for feedback in that sense. Even if you ask another artist that creates abstract paintings, the artist might not have enough character to be, you know, to be a good guy and tell you, you know what, that's great. The artist might feel threatened by you, you know, who knows? They might say, oh, you're not there yet. Look, you're missing this, you're missing that, or your tones are off, or all that BS, right? So be careful with feedback. Be very careful. I made this mistake when I was started painting, and you know, I've always done some sort of artwork, right, when I was younger. And I always made this mistake because I didn't know better. Nobody told me, right? People are like, oh, you got to get feedback. I always heard this from art teachers, and, you know, oh, you got to get feedback and whatnot. Feedback was one of the worst things that I started doing, you know, asking for feedback. And even if you ask the right people for feedback, they tend to not really give it to you. Here's where feedback came in helpful to me. When I started asking, and these are people 1 in a million, okay, or 1 in 1,000, 1 in a million, I don't know, the very rare souls. When I started asking for people with high level of character, what I mean by this is people that maybe didn't paint, people that didn't know anything about art, or some people that did know about art, but people with high levels of character don't judge the situation by where it is. They won't judge you by your skill set. They judge by the potential. And when you ask someone with a high level of character, what do you think about this? You know, I'm going through this. They know that you're looking for yay or nay, and they're always going to say, because they will encourage you, and this is a good thing. They're going to say, you know what? You're on your way. That's great. It's going to be fantastic. This and that. I can see you. I can see your name outside the Guggenheim. These are people you want to get feedback from. Why? Because you want people to tell you, yes, go for it, push. You know, push, go get what's yours. That's the feedback you're looking for. So be very careful when you ask someone and they start going analytical on you and saying, well, you know, you're missing that blue right there. You know, I would have done it like this. I would have done it like that. You certainly have that aspect in our teachers and whatnot. Yes, it's helpful, but be careful with it. Don't rely too much on it. Okay, get it if it works. If you're learning a new skill, use it and then let it go. And then if you really want feedback, because most people are looking for feedback generally to make themselves. They don't want to make the decision, or they want to assurance or reassure themselves that they're in the right path. Get it from someone with high levels of character. You know, this might not even be your family. This might be someone else. It might be your family, your mom or dad. Who knows? Generally, it's not. Generally, it's someone from outside. And I'm just speaking generally. Generally, someone from outside that is rooting for you. Get it from that person. My name is Jose Trujillo. I'm a fine art painter. Thank you so much for watching.